Donald. I like romantic dinners and long walks on the beach.
All right, good morning folks, it's Jason with the Van Camping Channel, and today we are out of the snowy mountains and we are down along the Oregon coast. I've got my buddy Donald with Soft Roading in the West with me, and we are going to explore some beach area where we're hoping to find some new places that we can tuck in and camp right on the ocean beach. So I think that'll be pretty cool. First thing we need to do though is get our tires aired down. We're going to be on sand, and with as heavy as my van is, it definitely needs low tire pressures in order to be able to maneuver on the beach. So as mentioned, we're going to take the air pressure down really low. With the van, when I'm on sand, I like to go down to 15 pounds of pressure. I know for people who with lighter rigs, 15 pounds doesn't seem like an excessive amount, but this thing's 9,500 pounds fully loaded out. So that is really low for it. But that should give me some nice float on top of the sand, and we should be able to travel fairly comfortably. Well, I'll say one thing for this drive, it's got some beautiful rainforest we're driving through.
Yeah, you know, I've been down here a few times, but this unbelievable, just beautiful rainforest just never gets old.
We're working our way to the beach, but to get there we have to use this old access road, and it's pretty potholy and rough, so you just kind of take it slow. But there's also a lot of just standing water. It is the middle of winter right now, and even though that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot on the coast because it stays pretty temperate here, they do get a lot of rain and a lot of flooding down this way, which could in turn become a problem for us a little bit later where we're trying to gain access to. All right, folks, so as you can see, we made it to the ocean, and it's beautiful out here. It's a great day. Unfortunately, our sunny weather that we were starting to have when we started the trip has gone away. It's a little bit rainy at the moment, but not too bad. The nice thing is that the wind is well down. It's just a light breeze right now, and that's nice. But this is only the beginning of the adventure, really. We've got a long drive down the beach to get to a spot where we're hoping to be able to camp. We've got a couple obstacles that we got to deal with. Is A, the tide, because we're going to be on the beach. But we should be okay there now, because right now we've made it out to the beach as the tide is going out. So that should give us a little time to make the drive. The other thing is there is a little creek that typically flows that we have to drive through. In the summertime, I don't think it's a big deal from what I understand, but being that it's winter and we have a little bit of extra precipitation, the river might be blown out a little bit, making it a little bit more challenging to cross. We'll just have to see when we get there.
Thought it might be a little shallower down at further down the beach, but I don't know that it's any better down there.
Well, I have to say, guys, that little river crossing turned out to be a little bit of nothing. Donald and I have crossed much bigger rivers than that on many of our trips. So the size of it wasn't my concern. It was just the fact that it was a sandy bottom and I was worried about bogging in it, but it was so firm that, I mean, we just didn't even notice it, so it wasn't a big deal at all. But we're gonna get going and we're gonna kind of race up the beach here before the tide starts coming back in. Technically, I could say,
This doesn't.
technically, I feel confident saying that water does come up here
clearly.
at some points.
Well,
I don't think it's going to come up here while we're here.
A sneaker wave could. You never know when those come.
Good. I mean, I'm just, again, like I said, I'm looking at the tire tracks that are here right now, where the tire truck's in. It looks like to me the tide will come up somewhere probably about 75 yards from where we're standing right now. And so I feel like we'd be safe if we came up here. It's a bit of a shelf, but I do still feel, I feel like splitting hairs and saying this is wet sand.
Yes. Oh yeah, I agree. This counts as wet sand.
Yeah.
This is not the dry sand. That's the dry sand up there, where the grass is, up where the ocean doesn't reach.
Right.
Yeah.
And where I'm about to take a poop. All right, so I'm just getting the wood stove set up. This is a pretty quick and easy process for me, the way I've got it all dialed in. I do have a video on this on my other channel if you're interested in seeing how I installed my wood stove. But being out here on the coast, everything is super wet. It's raining a little bit right now, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just the humidity. I mean, you can just feel the water in the air. So being able to keep a little bit of a fire going will not only keep me warm this evening once it really starts to cool off, but it will just help keep the van a little bit dry inside and not have it like everything just wet and dewy to the touch. So that'll be really nice. All right, so I'm just gonna get a small fire going in the van. When I'm out in places like this where there's not a lot of options for wood, or especially wood that's very dry, because you really want to use very seasoned and dry wood in the wood stove, I'll often stop and pick up these little Duraflame logs. This is just half of one, but you can get, they come in these full logs like this. I keep a few always down here. They're great for getting the fire started, and then a lot of times I'll supplement it with wood that I've cut myself. And I do have some of that, but the last time I cut the wood, it was pretty wet, so that stuff needs to dry. So I also pick up from the local store is these just compressed logs. They're pretty cheap, and I'll get them and I'll supplement in times where I just don't have good dry wood to utilize in the stove. These will get me by, and if I do have a bit of a fire in the stove, then any wood that I have that's superficially wet in the van will dry out pretty quickly and I can start using it. So that works out well. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, our weather changed pretty quickly. I was out filming around with my long lens, trying to capture a little bit of wildlife that's in the area. You've got seagulls. There's actually some sea lions out there as well, swimming around. That was kind of cool. I caught some ducks, and just basically just out trying to grab some footage of the wildlife that we have here. But all of a sudden it just got windy and just started hucking rain, to the point where Donald and Jimmy, which I haven't introduced Jimmy yet, he's a friend of mine, lives in the area, told him we'd be out here today. He wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not, but he did. And but anyways, because of the wind, they both had to pull their awnings back in. It was just getting too crazy. I thought about putting my awning out earlier and thought to myself, you know, it's coast. You just never know what's going to happen. And I don't really need to have my awning out. I can always just duck back into the van, and I've got the wood stove going, and it's cozy and it's nice. And yeah, so anyways, we're just drying out a little bit. Another benefit of the wood stove, it's a nice, great way to dry out wet clothes, which I do have some now after being out there. And we're just going to hang out for a little bit. Our goal is to have a campfire tonight, so hopefully things calm down and we can get one of their awnings back out and enjoy a little beach campfire, because that would be a lot of fun. So, first of all, this is normal. And this goes up, you drill a hole to the side here, because you can see the way these open, you have to have tension, right? Right. It won't hold itself open unless you have tension. Hole. Tension. And you tension with the holes. Okay. Boom. There you go. Yeah. That's clever.
Not gonna lie, this thing is awesome. There is no heat that I've experienced that compares to this thing right here. It's just so solid and warm and dry. Yeah.
You know, the thing I like about it is we all love campfires, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, you don't have smoke in my face.
Nope.
To sit by it. I still get to enjoy the crackle. I still get to see the flame.
Yeah.
And I don't really have to. I mean, you're turning around because you're trying to dry your clothes, but
right.
You don't have to
right, you don't have to play the rotisserie game.
To stay warm.
Exactly. No, it's so warm and cozy in here, and it's like, it was always nice with the Propex heater, but this is such a notch above, just in the quality of heat too. It's just everything, it just feels so nice. Yeah, for sure.
You gonna get that fire started today, or did you want me to shave some wood down there?
That wood shaving, I'm just gonna let her happen naturally.
Yeah. That's what Donald is. Alright guys, well we're just going to start making some dinner. It's very rainy and a little bit breezy outside, so I'm going to go ahead and just cook inside. We got the doors open, it's not that cold, and we got a nice fire outside, so that's nice. But cooking inside is just nice because I won't have the wind blowing on the burners, and that way I can heat the food up pretty quickly. We're going to do something simple tonight. My friend Julie gave us some homemade clam chowder. This is some stuff she made herself. She gave me some, so we're just going to heat this up. I've actually got 2 of these. I'm going to heat up enough here for everybody, so that way we can just have a simple community dinner tonight. Hey folks, if you're enjoying this video on the Van Camping channel, please take a moment to hit the like button. And if you can, make a simple comment. Likes and comments really do help promote the video on YouTube. Leaving a simple thank you or I enjoyed this video will help promote my video standing in the YouTube algorithm. Sharing this video on forums and social media will also help get the word out to potential new viewers as well. If you're not already, be sure to punch that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss a new van camping episode. And lastly, if you would like to contribute to my content further, check out my website at www.van-camping.com to learn how. Thank you for your support, and now let's get back into the video. All right, guys, well, I made a half an attempt at fishing, but this jetty's quite a bit different than the other jetties I have fished on, and it's just really low, and so at high tide, there's really no safe place where you can stand and fish. So I don't think that's gonna happen here. That's gonna be a downer for me, because one of the main reasons why I wanted to scout this place was to have a place to camp and jetty fish, and I just don't think it's going to be really all that possible, because most of the time when I've done well jetty fishing, it's always at high tide during the slack, and if I can't get out here during that time, then I don't know how good of a spot this will be. Well, Jimmy was kind enough to give me one of his breakfast burritos that I heated up for him, so we're just going to eat that today instead of cooking anything. At this point, we're just waiting for the tide to start going out. We actually have probably another half hour, 45 minutes before it's at high tide, and then we're gonna have to wait a little bit for it to recede before we can safely get out. We still got plenty of space, we're plenty safe, everything's good, and just really nice little spot to camp. I'm a little disappointed about the jetty fishing. I just don't think that's gonna be a thing, but I do think that surf fishing could be a great option. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my waders, and without waders, it's kind of hard to get out there and get into where the fish are at. So maybe next time we can try that. But as is right now, I'm going to munch a little burrito and just enjoy the sights and sounds of the ocean. right, guys, well, we are packed up and we are working our way off the beach now. Sun has broke through and it has been a beautiful morning. Not a bad time to just kick back, relax, and enjoy the sea air. But like I said, we are headed out now. Got to air up the tires, and then we'll be on our way, separate ways. So, good time with friends. Had a really good, enjoyable time. Look forward to getting out and exploring more of this beach. But I hope you guys did enjoy this van camping adventure. If you did, please do give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave those down below. And we'll see you guys again outside.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors.